Hi, I'm Joe Carrero. Now, first of all, I'm not running for office and don't need your money for a campaign. And I'm not starting a phony scam to get rid of all those corrupt politicians. I hope by now you figured out that those are buzzwords that some well-known political types just use to get you to part with your money and do nothing for you or for our country in return. You see, we've been played for fools, and politics has become a scam. That's why at the end of every letter they write expressing concern about the future of our country and what they're going to do to make things better, there's always the request to contribute, a contribution, a donation. For what? So they can spend our money sending out the next fundraising letter. That's what it's all about anymore. It's about money, making more money. That's what they do. These people are nothing more than crooks who play upon our fears and our hope that somebody somewhere will have the answers to those same issues they use every time an election comes around. Now, how stupid do they think we are? Well, we know we're smart enough to figure out that they don't think we're smart enough to figure it out. I wrote Conversations with an Average Joe because enough of that stuff is enough. I wrote it to bring us together, to unite us behind changes that not only can we live with, but that we can't live without. I'm fed up with the corrupt government, political parties, and corporations that we've allowed to take control of our country. It seems like we've just rolled over and given up, while the world's coming apart. And it's like there's nothing we can do about it because those in charge seem more concerned about being where they are with what they got than what's going on everywhere else. And we sure can't fend for ourselves anymore. Come on, what's happened to us? How did we let ourselves get here? You know, we started out as an ordinary people who created the extraordinary ideas and dreams that got us where we were. Because we worked hard at it. But that was before we trusted somebody to control our lives and make our decisions, taking away the hope of us ordinary people to, again, create an extraordinary future. Well, now we need to join together to take control back. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, a liberal or conservative, or try to occupy a Tea Party. I don't expect us to agree with everything we say, especially since we've been conditioned to not to trust each other by those who have divided us and conquered us, these political parties and these political types. But right now, there's a lot of us folks who don't know where they're taking us, and that's the best way to get somewhere we've never been, especially in times that are as dangerous as any in our history. And it's been time for a long time to elect members of Congress who will begin to be more concerned with our welfare than with their own. So let's agree to disagree on those issues of individual preference and focus on making our country safer and more prosperous for us all. Let's begin by me taking you on a journey as an average Joe who's been fortunate enough to experience the insides of business and politics, learning experiences by being a stockbroker, a small businessman, a college professor, and a state senator for over 20 years, helping people solve their problems. I've worked on Wall Street and delivered pizzas to Main Street. And while there were times I struggled to make a living for my family, I could never have imagined how bad things would become. It's unbelievable. It sickens me to see how we're being ripped off, lied to, and how over time this treatment has become acceptable without concern for us, the citizens, consumers, and workers who produce and buy the goods that drive our economy. And the security of our future? What is that going to be like? Now, all the stories that we tell in Conversations are true, and told by average Joes who lead us through everyday life to how we got to where we are today and what we have to do tomorrow. Not to just change the players, but to do nothing less than give us a blueprint to change our political system and a chance for our survival. So not just focusing on who the next president or congressman needs to be, but figure out why the past ones didn't do their job. No sense in just putting people in a system that doesn't work. I mean, right now, they take our money and they take our votes and they make promises that they never keep. These politicians go from begging for our votes one day to people begging for theirs the next. And there's all that influence, all that power. People waiting on them hand and foot. It's human nature for them to feel above it all. Well, above all of us. And we let them keep kicking that can down the road. When we know that just by using common sense, business sense, and moral sense, we can solve problems. We can solve the unemployment and minimum wage problems. We can cure cancer, especially when you consider that we wasted as much money on the Cash for Clunkers program as we spent for cancer research. And tax reform and getting rid of the IRS should be a no-brainer, unless Congress is afraid of getting audited. And ISIS, we all know what needs to be done to them. So there's solutions to every problem. Problem is, there's too many problems. Nothing gets fixed. And every day us average Joes are fighting for our lives since we lost control to corporations and corrupt politicians that have been hell-bent on taking away what little power we have left. And yet we got more votes, but we're still in the minority. Conversations with an Average Joe is a timely, factual, nonpartisan play on life and politics from average Joes who seem to have no one representing their interests or listening to their complaints or questions. It's about normal lives of average people that include true experiences that relate to the challenges, issues, uncertainties, and suspicions about government, politics, and even our individual future. Our future. And it's about solutions. It's about solutions too. It's written as a one-person play that actually involves other Joes who enter from the audience to tell their story. And as an example, I put together a reading with myself portraying those various Joes coming from the audience. Now, being an average Joe, I know the issues that not only happen to me, but have happened to all of us. And when personalized, it provides entertaining and interesting discussion and conversation. It might do Congress some good to hear from regular folks who can explain simply, without all the politics, what they think we can do to make our country great again, and our lives a little easier. At the end of every show, we'll have a question and answer conversation with the audience. And who knows? Maybe some of those folks running for office will show up to participate. That's an added advantage of presenting conversations during an election, along with being a hot ticket on Broadway. So let's meet and talk and take home a plan of action while we still have time. You see, when you think about what it comes down to, is that sometimes it seems like there are only two ways to do things: right or again. This time we're not going to have a chance to do it again. The revolution starts at curtain call. See you there. And thanks for listening to An Average Joe.